How are we doing, everybody? Bit of a late one. It's looking a bit rough again. Want to have that chopped at weekend. Anyway, just got back from my local dealer. Picked myself up my food. Said I was going to get some. I did. Yeah, just had a right batch of fish come in from Ricky. All loads of different Hiroi Gosanki, Hiroi Goshiki, all sorts, a chiba. That's mental, that. So go and check Richard's out. A1 Koi Auctions. Got some cracking fish for sale. I'm going to be going up on there soon. Right, so what's going to be happening is, obviously you guys know that I've been having issues with nitrites, and I've come up with a theory what I think might be happening. So I'm going to spin the camera around and I'm going to show you my theory as to what I think quite possibly could be going off, which is something I'm going to be testing out just to see if this is a possible cause and solution. So I'll spin the camera around, guys. Right, so as you guys all know, what's been following me for a while now, this here is my auto top-up tank. So this is what keeps my pond at the correct height constantly. So a little float valve inside it, and it's fed from this 3-stage filter, or it was. It went into there and kept my pond topped up. Now what's been happening is, right, so when I've been doing my checks, I've been checking my pond. I've been getting 0 chlorine readings in my pond. Okay, and then come back in here. I've been checking my levels in my bio. Obviously it's connected, 0 chlorine levels. Check the water in my drum, 0 chlorine. Now this could be a possible culprit as to why my nitrite readings, why I've been having trouble with my nitrite readings, because the water in this tank only really moves when the pond is filling back up, as it's pulling water through to raise the level again. This water is basically more or less just sat in the position until it needs to top it up to fill back up. So pretty much this water in here is just stagnant, and as it's getting filled up, it's pulling through there and water sits there. Now these filters aren't the best filters for removing chlorine, which I did know, but they do work for a small amount of time, and you have to run the water through them really slowly to make them effective, basically. Now as it's been pulling water through, chlorine has been sat in there. Now the last time I did a chlorine check in there, the chlorine level in that tank by my HANA checker was 0.08, which is quite high. So my theory is, when the water level in my system drops, or as my drum uses water up, water is being pulled through from that tank, what's got the chlorine sat in it, it's being pulled through and into this system, through my drum, through into my biofilter. So my theory is that that water, what's in there, what's got chlorine in it, is affecting my biochamber and possibly killing nitrifying bacteria in there, which is not doing me nitrite levels any good. That's the theory. So what the test is going to be to cap that off for a while, and see if anything changes, see if my nitrite levels start to drop with that tank disconnected. If it does, all well and good. I'm going to have to come up with a different solution, and put, well, I'm going to have to get a big blue basically. There's no two ways about it. I'm going to have to get a big blue, and then I think what I'm going to end up doing is fully doing away with that top-up tank and putting my float valve actually inside my drum filter. So I'll drill another hole in my drum filter and attach my float valve inside my drum, and then there's not going to be any stagnant water sat anywhere, you know, in a tank. It was worth a try, to be fair. I've seen other people do it, but that's basically all that tank is. It's just a tank of water sat there stagnant, top it pond up as it needs it. But if it's got chlorine sat in it, it's no good, is it? So that's what I'm going to try. That tank is going to be disconnected for a while and see how these nitrite levels do, see if they start dropping. So I'm not going to be doing that tonight anyway. I'm tired now. I'm going to go in, get some grub, go and get in bed, watch some telly, bit of YouTube, and see what tomorrow brings. Got quite a busy week at work. Not going to be doing a lot Thursday. I've got a funeral to attend on Thursday, so it might be. Although next week I've got 2 weeks off from work, so I've got a lot of time on my hands to get a lot of things done that I need to get done around house and in pond as well. So that's going to be it for the time being. I should be back with you guys when I start doing a bit more work on this top-up tank. So I'll see you in a bit, guys. Good afternoon, guys. Oh, what a day it's been again today. Right then, so what I'm going to be doing now is last night all I did for me keep my trickle going, to keep me water level topped up, is I just stuck hose pipe on end of my 3-stage filter, and I just run it out to a pond. So basically the water is coming in after my biochamber, so if there is any chlorine coming in, you know, bits of chlorine, it's not going to be affecting my bio or anything like that. It's just going to ever so slight trickle going into a pond. Look at that, man. Shut for now. Right, we'll go outside and I'll show you whereabouts I've put this hose pipe for the time being. Right, so where I've put it is just in between that coping there. It's just sticking through. So I've turned it off at a minute because I'm going to be doing some alterations, because all that is controlling water through this at the minute is a little 15mm isolation valve. Well, with one of them you've not got much control of flow with how much it lets through. So I've got myself a tap, and I'm going to get this tap fitted in shed, and then I can put hose pipe onto the tap then, and then I'm going to have a lot more control how much flow I get through it. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. Right, so at a minute, all I did just to bodge it last night is I just put hose pipe onto end of this pipe what comes out at 3-stage. So I'm going to whack a tap on here somewhere, and then the hose can go onto tap then, but it just means it'll give me a lot more control around how much water I let through. So that's going to be the plan. That is now capped off, so there's no water being let into the system through that. What else was I going to say? Yeah, so basically it's going to be like this for a while, just trickling via a tap. Well, then eventually I'm going to get myself a big blue, and then once I've got my big blue, I will, like I said yesterday, put a float valve inside a drum, so it fills up inside drum, so I've not got hose pipes everywhere. But I can't do that yet because same situation, I don't want the potential for any chlorine working its way through my system into my bio, So I want, I want it after really, so we shall see. So I'm gonna snap away from you guys for a minute. I'm gonna get this tapping and I'll come back to you. Right, that's that tapping now then, guys. Trickle sorted out for the time being, so we shall have a good look at it. Right, so here we are then, guys. No special really, just come out to side of my 3-stage into top at back plate and then hose pipe straight onto tap. And I've regulated that down to roughly where I want to have it at for now, just to try it. So we go out here now. Round this tip. That's the rate of the trickle. Now I've measured that out in a jug, and that is trickling 80 millilitres a minute, and that works out over 24 hours at 115 litres. So I'm just going to have to try that and see if that roughly matches the rate at which my drum is cleaning, and see how we go with that. We can only but try. So I'll have a bit of play with it for a week or two, and see what we can do with it. Like I say, eventually I probably am going to end up getting a big blue, so I'll probably end up sticking a float valve in my drum filter, to be fair. Worst comes to worst, if I can't get on with it and I can't get it set right, then I might just end up setting me cleaning cycle up off at water main instead of having instead of it cleaning front pond water. That way I'm not going to have to trickle. I'll just have to top it up as and when, through evaporation and things like that, and water changes. So we shall see how we go with it. What I'm going to do now is get that crap out of there and get some of that bad boy put in. See if that makes any difference to water parameters, feeding that over this Coppens. In fact, before I do that, guys, what I'm actually going to do, just out of curiosity, because I've got that slow trickle going into my pond, I think it's much better going into the pond rather than before the biochamber, because then if there is any slight traces of chlorine, it's not hitting my biochamber first, it's going into the pond, and hopefully, because the slow rate at which it's going in at, by the time it starts getting to any sort of level in the system, then it's going to have been evaporated. That's the plan, hopefully. So I'm going to get my chlorine tester and I'm going to test what's coming out over in that trickle and see what we say. Get this vial filled up. That'll do us. Right then, let's see what we get with this thing, guys. That's C1. Yeah, I could tell you there's chlorine in this straight away because it's pink in it already. I reckon these cartridges are going to need changing. Just to what degree of chlorine we've got in it. that's that. Come back in 2 minutes 30. Right, that's finished now, guys. So that's trickling through at a level of 0.04 parts per million. So definitely need to do something with my cartridges. Definitely going to change them. We have to order some first though, so that's going to have to be as it is for the time being. I'd sooner it be just dripping into the pond at that rate and keep me water level topped up, rather than it going straight through me, filtering my biochamber and possibly killing any bacteria. At least with it being like this, it's got half a chance of being gassed off pretty quick. So we'll just have to see. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a quick check at chlorine levels in pond, make sure they're okay, and then go from there. And then I'm going to get that food whacked in feeder. So I shall catch back with you in a minute, guys, once I've done this chlorine check on pond. Right, there you have it then, guys. 0 parts per million in pond. So the pond itself, the water in the pond is absolutely fine, so there's nothing chlorine wise causing any issues there. So that's it. I'm going to monitor how this goes for the time being. I've got to have some sort of top up going into it, otherwise drum will just go into a continuous cleaning cycle. So I'd sooner it be where it is now with a slight trace of chlorine in it, rather than where it was working its way straight into the biochamber. So I'm going to get some more cartridges ordered anyway for my 3-stage, and then go from there. So I'm going to get this lot packed away and get that food whacked in feeder. You can even smell the difference, guys. That's very fishy. Rather than very poultry. Right, I'm going to get the rest of this feeder filled up, guys. I'm going to have to get it weighed out again to find out how much this pellet weighs, so I know exactly how much I'm feeding each time. And then I'll catch you in a bit, guys. So I think that's about all I wanted to discuss in this one, so that's going to be about it. So I'll see you next time, guys. See you later. I now christen this pond with Saki Hikari. That's it, christened. See how they do on that. Come on, cretins. Right, that's it. I'll catch you next time, guys.